the lottery, I was upset. Man. I was hurt. Not hurt. I was upset. That's just all I'll say. I did not expect, I don't think either of us expected the Pistons to get the number 1 overall pick. And I think both of us also thought number 2 was kind of out of reach. But to land at 5, that just sucks. It's a little better now because you kind of see how the draft board is going to play out with the teams picking at 1, 2, 3, and 4. You kind of have an idea. So you get a little excited about, the prospects that are potentially going to be there according to all the mock drafts that you see. But again, slipping to 5th. I didn't think first. I thought at least 3rd or 4th, at least, but yeah, no, we didn't get it. What were your thoughts? I know you did a live reaction, but all that. What were you thinking when that happened?
I was really shocked that we fell to 5. And I know even if you look at the odds, the Pistons had I believe 46 or a 47% chance of falling to 5, which I was like, okay, if we do fall, maybe it's 4, maybe it's 3. Didn't think we would get 5. I had to go back and do some research. I guess this is the first time in over 5 years or the last 5 to 10 years that the worst record in the league fell to 5. You can go back. It's never happened. Of course, the Pistons had to break that record, but hey, man, you're still getting a good prospect at 5. Maybe I shouldn't do live stream reactions of the lottery anymore. Maybe I just shouldn't do it. Maybe I'm bad luck. Or maybe it was me making fun of Charlotte for the past, every podcast, and they go up to 2. Or making fun of Dallas getting the 10th pick. Because, if Dallas would have, won the lottery, I would have said, yeah, it's rigged.
Well, we both thought the number 1 pick was going to a Texas team. You thought San Antonio, I believe, and I had said Houston. Because we knew that, Victor Wembanyama needs a big state. He needs a big place to play. He's a huge kid. He needs a big environment, and there's no bigger place than Texas. But I know the NBA lottery is not rigged. But, dude, when it happens this way, you kind of got to raise your eyebrows a little bit. Again, I'm not going to say that it's just weird that the ping pong balls happen to fall that way. And it happened to favor San Antonio. It's a generational big coming out of the draft. San Antonio's only had a tank for 1 year. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they get blessed with, probably the best prospect since LeBron James. And it just blows your mind how it works out that way. It's just, there's a part of me, a small part of me that's like, you know what? If I'm looking down the list, the NBA didn't want him to go to Charlotte because they want Jordan to sell that team, but then, and then Portland, they have a history of drafting bigs that just get injured. So you don't want them going there because in case you believe in voodoo or any type of bad luck. Houston, they're kind of I don't want to say a mess of an organization, but we all know what happened to Emi when he was in Boston. So I think it'd be tough for the NBA to reward a team after everything that happened with him, if that makes sense. But then, just in the Pistons, I knew they weren't going to get the number 1 overall pick. The NBA didn't want it. And I'm not making a case for it to be, rigged lottery, but again, it just makes you raise your eyebrows just a little bit that it happened to work out that way.
I'm not upset that we fell. I'm not, because if you look at the teams in the top 5 of the lottery, the Pistons have more prospects. The Pistons in Houston, if you look at their young core, they have the brightest young cores out of everyone in the top 5. The Blazers, I have no idea what the hell they're going to do. I really don't. We're going to talk about it later. Reports are they want to trade the pick. Don't know if that's going to happen. It kind of reminds me when the Warriors wanted to trade a pick for a star. Didn't happen. They ended up having to draft James Wiseman. You know what happened there. But think if you're a Piston fan, you're still getting a good prospect at 5. You shouldn't have, sour grapes. Would have been cool if the Pistons got Victor Wembanyama. Yes, of course. But, don't trip on it. San Antonio's second best player is Keldon Johnson. They're going to be in the top 3 lottery next year. They're a dumpster fire. They traded everybody. They traded DeJounte Murray. They traded basically their whole team to tank for 1 year. Happy for San Antonio. They're a good organization. If you want to say the NBA is scripted, sure, go for it. I mean, I'm fine, man. Like initially, I was really pissed off last Tuesday, but I've had time to think. I think that there are a lot of prospects at 5 you could talk about, and I think the Pistons are going to get another good young player if they do decide to keep the pick, because there are reports of them wanting to trade up. There are reports of them trying to possibly trade that pick for a proven veteran. So, I mean, there's a lot they can do at 5. I think if you're a Piston fan, don't stress over it, because we're going to get a good player, or we'll trade the pick. We'll get a proven veteran. I think if you're a Piston fan, you should just feel fine about it. There's nothing to try to like have these narratives with like, well, Charlotte didn't, or the NBA didn't want Charlotte getting it. I honestly don't believe that. If that was the case, why would they have the second pick?
Well, I mean, because did you see that video where Mitch Kupchak was like, yeah, I think we're in a better position to draft for fit. And it's funny that they say that because they're not on the verge of being a contender or being a consistent play-in team. And I mean, you got a big personality in LaMelo Ball. You don't know what his future is with the team. And I don't know. It's just, I mean, like I said, I don't believe the NBA lottery is rigged or it's all scripted. It's just, again, it just makes you raise your eyebrow just a little bit that it just happened to be, because it's a perfect situation for Victor and the San Antonio Spurs. Like, and I mean, I'm happy for Victor. There's no better organization for him to go to. And he's going to be able to learn from Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, and Manu Ginobili. Mm-hmm. And the other guys that were part of those dynasties. Like, he's in a perfect situation. And, I mean, I'm happy for him. At the moment, I was just upset. And but you're right. I mean, the Pistons drafting at 5, there's a real chance that they draft someone that's going, when we look back on it years later, that they probably should have gone in the top 3. It always happens in every draft. Someone gets drafted late, whether it's out of the top 10 or whether it's right there in the top 5 or somewhere in the middle. It's just, we always find that prospect that, was under everybody's radar. And, that guy could fall to the Pistons at 5. I love the prospects that are around there, because the way it's shaping out, it's Victor W., Brandon Miller, and Scoot Henderson at 1, 2, and 3. And then most mocks I've seen is Amin Thompson going to Houston at 4. So that leaves us with a nice, talented pool of prospects that we can pick from. But again, we never know how it's going to go. I'm just going off of mock drafts. But yeah, the NBA lottery, it's just, I don't think the Pistons got screwed. It was just upsetting at the moment. That's all it was.